Makes a lot of sense. It seems to be a home map for ECSTATIC, bit of a punish pick as well, as GODSENT aren't too strong on it. And then the Inferno and the Overpass. It feels like 2 punish picks and a comfortable one to end on. So it feels like, we should quite easily have 3 maps coming out of this one. It sounds like we've got the game coming to you shortly as well. So here we are. No waiting around for this one. Actually getting started a little bit early, technically.
Yeah, the other option would have been the Anubis pick here instead of Nuke. They're both brilliant maps for ECSTATIC, and I hope for their sake that they've made the right choice as we get into this pistol round winner. And this series will be into that grand final for the spot, and an early vent dive. Super aggressive Plopsky rattling off those Julies. Can't find a connection, but Draken can, as can Rusty. And the lack of utility, actually, Scrib. If they had a smoke, that bomb probably goes down, but they're just getting massacred from those deep angles to the end of ramp.
Bomb goes down. Kraghen and Salazar to try and hold on here. Joel going to rip the head of Kraghen straight off. Salazar can't get anything done. Caught out in the open. The Julies of Joel, the hero of that round, as he finds himself 3 very quickly indeed. So a fantastic start coming in from GODSENT. No real sweat for them in the opening pistol. ECSTATIC, though, they will get that bomb down. They will perhaps look for a buy in this follow-up round.
I think they're lucky to get a bomb plant out of that. You said, gives them options. maNkz is buying. Should indicate that everybody will. Kraghen up next. That Galil. Bit of a slow buy, so clearly a bit of indecision. Hope he doesn't affect how they're going to play. There are free smokes, so we can throw those regular cross smokes, which are of course all important on a map like Nuke. And yeah, for now ECSTATIC just content to sit back, and I guess maNkz is formulating his best plan to make this force buy work.
What is the move? Seems very safe so far. I mean, we're 1 minute and 20 in. They've not really taken an awful lot of space anywhere, to be honest. Very slow moving indeed. Gonna get some late utility outside. The wall of smokes, of course, always a classic. Not really following up on it. It looks like they're going to try and burst in towards the A side of things. maNkz and Salazar with all the utility to facilitate this to happen. Smoke comes in towards Molotov to back it up. No flashes round. They're just brute forcing their way in. Plopsky left out in the open, however, will get completely melted. 3 versus 3. Rusty gets aggressive, however, drops the bomb. 40 seconds left. ZTR thinking about moving through that smoke. Maybe he will in a second here as maNkz is starting to take a few fights. There goes ZTR. Draken with the Julies drops Salazar, and the rush into A falls flat.
This one's going to be the heavy eco. Perfect start for GODSENT. Of course, ECSTATIC's map pick. And I think, as you kind of brought up, I think Anubis probably is more home turf for ECSTATIC. Just maybe in this matchup, they think that GODSENT have more weaknesses. They push it in this direction. But we haven't seen any of those just yet. And, well, we've got a couple Deagles. 3 of them in the mix, so could be a little bit careful with GODSENT. Can't just fight willy-nilly. But now, that strategy seems to be working.
Going a bit wild with it, I suppose. Some early peaks. It does indeed look to be relatively effective. There you go. Draken will be checked, as is ZTR. Nice shots coming through from the Deagle of Nodios. Has he got any more available? No, he doesn't. Down he goes. And so they get their 3rd round pretty cleanly there on the GODSENT side of things. But certainly, like I say, having their confidence checked ever so slightly.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but 2 kills is pretty big to keep that economy neutralized. Means it can't grow too much out of control. And they'll need some saves here if GODSENT don't win this round to ensure a bye. But here we go. ECSTATIC, full investment. We know they've got some really explosive plays. The one that sticks out in my head is that explosive mini wrap they had yesterday where they fly over the top on some flashes. Doesn't look like any of those set plays are out just yet. Much more of a passive default. A bit of nade just to Apply some pressure. Cannonades. But content for right now just to sit in towards lobby, and I'm guessing those outer cross smokes will come soon. ECSTATIC consider how they're going to work the map.
Pretty quiet so far. There's a minute already gone in the round, and ECSTATIC are just starting to gain space outside. Flopsky will spam one down through the smoke. ZTR strikes at the same time to make sure that the kills keep on coming. He's so pesky here from this headshot angle. Absolutely demolished on the ECSTATIC side of things, as it is just one left to try and find 5. I don't think this one's going to happen for him. A flawless round coming in. Flopsky and ZTR doing all the work there for GODSENT.
This getting frightening. I mean, that was just an absolute massacre. ZTR, Plopsky combining perfectly on outer. ECSTATIC can never get through. I'm not surprised to see a pause, because we normally take pauses to discuss one or two things that aren't working, but what is working right now for ECSTATIC? No bomb plant, so no full investment now. Half buy is the best they could possibly muster. And they got to start doing damage. They can't afford another round of only 2, maybe 2 or 3 kills. They need to really dent this economy, or GODSENT are going to have such a long runway as we get into the mid stages of this first half. Okay. Pressure on maNkz now, isn't it? Mill map pick already down. Money built up for your opponents. He's got to prove himself as an in-game leader now over this half.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly one of the things that ECSTATIC had maybe struggled with a little bit, right? maNkz was thrust into the role. At the end of the day, he wasn't really as solid, as strong, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll see whether he's able to prove himself here. He's been doing it for a while now. Hopefully, they will know what they're doing on this one.
Oof.
Triple kill for Rusty, making it look easy. Nodios and kraghen will be the only ones remaining. There's a missed shot out from Draken. Just got to be careful that the gap doesn't close too much. And kraghen has a bit of an angle here, but Flopsky on the backside that we're watching for. Nodios gets the better of him. This does get a little interesting in places. kraghen trying to find the lurk frag, can't get it done. Just Nodios remaining then, and now it feels like the job is a little harder for the solo player. He does have the bomb. That's about all he's got working for him.
Well, he was exposed, but Joel's moved up now. Joel's holding an off angle onto Hut. If he picks the wrong way to look, Nodios is going to get a free kill here. Right now, Joel's looking at Hut. There it is. Nodios with 1. But there is still a player lower. That's ZTR. And I don't think Nodios is going to be ready for this. Shots to Deacon door. He's not exposed to double, but he is to Draken. Coming off it just in time. Draken finds the frag, and unfortunately no bomb plant. It's kind of a neutral round, isn't it? 3 kills, no bomb plant. It's about par for the course, I'd say, for a half buy. And yeah, I don't think GODSENT are too unhappy, really.
Yeah, certainly a little rough here for ECSTATIC in the early stages. It's definitely not looking as clean as they would have wanted, I would imagine. So we do start to worry for them a little bit. Another buy coming back in. You would hope that this is an opportunity for them to close that gap, or at the very least, you know, prove that they can get rounds on the board. It seems to be just a kind of rinse and repeat, going outside once again. Nothing too original coming through from ECSTATIC that I think ZTR trying to track around the smokes here. Won't be able to spot anything out. They're just going for a simple move down secret type move here on the ECSTATIC side of things.
Okay, so the spam didn't catch anybody. And unsighted completely. Rusty commits to to try and take some information, but his teammate's actually too far off to get an immediate trade. Here comes Plopsky. So Nodios is dead. They know he's the lurk player. And now Rusty's hearing a lot around him. He needs some help. Plopski's coming down ramp just now. If he gets some nades onto one of these doorways, it would help. But they're just fragged immediately. ZTR, where have you come from? Down the vent. Nobody's looking. No util onto the vent. And he makes it work. This is falling apart for ECSTATIC. They had such a massive advantage there.
Absolutely crazy once again. They will try and get the bomb down, but Queenix just sort of faking things out and wants to take the fight more than anything. ZTR so ready for that one. Yeah, looked really good for a second. They're just not able to capitalize once again. There seems to be some big problems here for ECSTATIC right now in the early stages of Nuke, to be honest with you. It is that T side. It is harder to get going, but this just looks abysmal. And GODSENT are meant to be not that great on this map, right? So very surprising that this is how things are going down right now.
They not have like a molly or something to put onto the vent. Or was somebody just not looking, or was it... It was a 4-on-2. Surely somebody could be committed to... Even if that person dies holding the vent, he can call out to his teammates and it doesn't get out of control. This one's going to be a fast burst. Exploit out of hut and out of the doorway. And whilst they gain a little bit of ground, it doesn't come to much, does it? Plopski's taking a bit of damage, but outside of that, no advantage for ECSTATIC. Bomb is dropped outside of hut 2. And this half is going from bad to catastrophic at the rate we're going.
Pretty terrible looking stuff here, to be honest with you. It is starting to get vastly out of hand. ECSTATIC. I mean, we're just looking for them to find one round on the board now, to be honest with you. I mean, even beyond that is kind of tough to imagine, to be honest. Really not looking too good. But we'll see. Time going to tell on this one, of course, whether they are able to come back into it. GODSENT, another clean round looking to be required by them. Draken does find one, instantly traded out by kraghen. kraghen very quickly has made his way out towards the heaven area. ZTR, though, going unchecked. Oh, going to spot a couple. This is an opportunity for him to take over the round. Maybe even find 3 if he plays his cards right. He's just going to play the safe game, though. Drops the bomb. Yes, gets that man advantage, and now working around slowly but surely. Oh, kraghen spins around to take him down. Plopski and Rusty are here, though, to recover the round back. Enough has been done by ZTR getting in and weaving some damage, being annoying, being a nuisance. That was nearly a mare. Nearly a mare for him, bro. However, Nodios now. Nice frag at range. Doesn't have the bomb is the one big thing. He's got 45 seconds to work with, and maybe this positional change could be big for him.
Joel is fully exposed to this right now. And he's got no idea. He's got no idea. Can't see the second. Spot given away. Rusty's up in heaven. Oh, it's a really nice spot, isn't it? Ah, Nodios has no idea where he is. Rusty repositions. There's 20 seconds. Bomb's going to get recovered soon. And I think the only option will be running through main. 14 seconds. You got to go, Nodios. And surely there's not time to fully check this. Rusty's ready and waiting. Perfect stuff. And... you know, it's a close round. It's a good try from ECSTATIC. But moral victories don't matter anymore. They have to find rounds. And that was another where after kraghen got that entry, it was a reasonably good position. They had a lot of control. And a 4-on-4. You take that on the T side of a map like Nuke.
Certainly do.
ZTR's been a monster. He's been so annoying, isn't he? Peeking up in garage, in towards
an
secret.
Absolute nuisance, mate. I think that is the way that he's been playing.
They just can't get a read on where he's playing whatsoever.
Well, a broken half by here from ECSTATIC. It's already the half being won out by GODSENT. The question now is, you know, how far does this go? Do we find this one? Nodios and Queenix both going to chime in for an opening kill, though. These faster, more aggressive rounds might be the way in. kraghen has got the drop on Draken, rather. All the same. ZTR and Rusty will have to save out here, and that's the way ECSTATIC get their first round.
Been a bit of a surprise, this T side, because ECSTATIC for me are a team that love the explosive plays. I know we had one in a round that fell apart, but apart from that, it's been a lot of slow defaults, which isn't really their trademark, their hallmark, in my opinion. It's based on the other maps. But it's a nice round. It's a half buy, which means they're going to have cash in the bank. So that does make quite a big difference to this. Of course, GODSENT can keep buying continuously, but we had one in a round that fell apart. But apart from that, it's been a lot of slow defaults, which isn't really their trademark, their hallmark, in my opinion. It's based on the other maps. But it's a nice round. It's a half buy, which means they're going to have cash in the bank. So that does make quite a big difference to this. Of course, GODSENT can keep buying continuously, but for ECSTATIC's perspective, at least a loss here isn't straight back onto pistols. So a lifeline handed out. But they need to make good of it. This half already feels like damage limitation. On their map pick, they got to get every round available now. Maybe 4, 5. That is the minimum target from here.
That's what you'd expect at this point, I suppose. Yeah, have to string these together. All the same, not really too much of a dent in the GODSENT scoreline so far. If they can return around here, I think it would be very impressive, and they'd just be able to hold on to this incredibly strong lead that they already have. So the string together is perhaps more important than winning the initial round. The A-bomb site deceivingly clear right now. So we'll see. I'm going to go down. This is very, very weird on the retake so far, to be honest with you. Not a lot of space being gained. Not a lot of utility remaining. They will slowly begin to make their way through. Popsky going to find the first hit. Not a lot of time left on this bomb. Has to be a perfect retake. ZTR in for a triple. Someone's got to get on the bomb now. It's all down to Salazar to hold. They know where he's at. Should be able to get the defuse in. They will do so indeed. And Salazar opts to save instead of taking more fights here. He will be able to hold on to it, but GODSENT with a really nice retake.
Calm, composed. They look that way the whole half so far. Never getting flustered. But instead they have a lot of money, then keep buying. That's not a concern here, but we're still playing for rounds. We need a couple more, at least. Well, I guess that time they progressed onto a bomb site, which is a bit depressing, but that's pretty good for a gun round in this half so far. So they've made a bit of progress in that sense this time. Default spread, bit of a boost from Salazar, trying to hope to catch someone like ZCR crossing into Garage, but not to be. And now we can get into the mid-round of Nuke. Check out Draken, though. In secret, he's adjusted, new position. And they need to be careful of this man.
Very aggressive indeed here on the side of ECSTATIC, looking to take an early fight. Nothing quite presenting itself just yet. But surely they're working their way in. In comes the burst. Popsky going to be the first to fall. kraghen tied to his own Molotov, perhaps. All the same, it's still a 4 versus 3. A pretty difficult retake here for GODSENT. They might even give it up, maybe. Especially after that kill comes in. I feel like there's a degree of futility now. Might as well just give it a cross and allow ECSTATIC their second round.
Much better. And yeah, for GODSENT, if you got any read on the money, it's pretty good actually for ECSTATIC. They'll be buying a lot of this half, whatever happens. To just save these guns. Moving forwards. Some more explosive plays out of ECSTATIC. We like it. coming to A. Decent entries too. And kraghen, Queenix, maNkz, they're your pack players. They're the ones who are going to find the most entry jewels. They had 1 kill halfway through this half, or something along the sorts. So, of course, maNkz still yet to get engaged, but at least kraghen and Queenix are starting to find some openings, and that's played a pretty big role in the 2 rounds they've managed to win so far.
All right, let's see. Again, the consistency has kind of escaped them here, so I am curious to know whether they're able to get it down this time around. Hopefully for their case they can. But yeah, certainly easier said than done at this sort of late stage of the half so far. Things are looking relatively good, however. They will decide to rush in once again on the ECSTATIC side of things. Salazar going to catch Joel on the backside. Rusty is looking to bring her back into a man advantage scenario here for GODSENT. It's a 3 versus 3 on the retake. Draken in and around the vents, looking for the perfect time. ZTR eats a nade for his trouble. Draken actually finds Queenix. Getting a little giddy. Salazar going to fall on the backside. It's all onto kraghen all of a sudden. It's looking very good for ECSTATIC, but they've just lost out on their 1 versus 1s. And now 3 to find for the hero of the hour. Nice onto the first. ZTR is low, but he just can't get the drop on him, unfortunately. And they will manage to once again answer back quick.
Clean stuff. ZTR remains on a tear. Draken a good couple frags as well. And just a nightmare for ECSTATIC. The thing is, because they won that half buy, they've had so many investments. It's not necessarily been a half of economic woes. They've had a lot of buys here. They just cannot convert a great deal of them. 1 gun round 1. As we get into round number 13, it's not going to cut. It's not going to cut it in this sort of matchup. It's ECSTATIC's map pick, and right now, they need to find something. They need to find something that works. Did they not hear kraghen? How did he not hear kraghen? Maybe the Molly shielded the sound, but kraghen gets this close. Oh, well, that has summarized the day so far, doesn't it? How does kraghen not get the kill when he's completely unsighted like that?
Mental, absolutely mental. Yeah, there have been some sort of weird moments in places, I would say. Oh, nice shot coming in from Rusty to see off yet another round. GODSENT on a tear right now. maNkz is the only one remaining, the only one that has potential to find any kind of frags right here. Not going to happen, is it? Rusty takes him down, and yet another round going the way of GODSENT.
I thought it was a pretty 50-50 between this and Anubis. I understand the choice, though I can kind of guarantee you in a couple of the players' minds, in the back of their minds right now, they're thinking, why didn't we play Anubis? This is not going well. GODSENT have played a brilliant CT half. It's been dynamic, different options. Draken's been engaged. ZTR has been an absolute beast. Rusty, more of a supportive element of this team in regular times, is been infallible. And he's the ramp player. This is a tough pill to swallow for ECSTATIC, and you've got to keep your heads, because I don't think 3's enough. 4's at least in the realms, but I don't think 3 would be enough to win this. Not in the modern day of Nuke.
No, not at all. I think you need 5 or 6 at the very least, to be honest. So we'll see. They still have room to recover a little, but definitely getting away from them at this late stage. ZTR holding down towards the bottom end of the stairs here, looking to be this first line of defense on the AK, creeping up, loses his life. Gets a little giddy, a little overconfident. Still, Rusty is around. Oh, he hears players, though. He's got to take attention over here. Queenix will take his head clean off. Only Plopsky so far that's found a frag for the GODSENT side of things, and he is short-lived. Salazar somehow misses that shot. Looked like it was onto me. So it gives Joel an opportunity to maybe come back into the round. Kraken is so far away from the action. He's got a couple of players to get through before he can even think about trying to retake here. Slow but sure. Looks like they're just kind of giving up the round and looking for the exits. Kraken will take out Queenix. And, well, keep them trapped in the bomb site, I suppose. Definitely is the case for kraghen. I don't think he survives from there. Kraken finds a trade onto maNkz, but kraghen does find Kraken, and apparently kraghen does survive. Very little damage from the bomb site on the B end of things.
There's your third. It's one more, but it will still be a full buy from GODSENT. And, well, nice to see maNkz on the board in the end. But even so, kraghen, Nodios, these are the guys that have helped to make this at least, you know, somewhat in the realms to get into this last round of the first half. Kraken, though, look at this. Mega aggressive, but can't connect. They're going to explode behind this. Joel called out of position. Plotski's behind the silos. This many players around him. Too much to do. Way too much. 4 on 3 now. Nades going down. This should be 4 for ECSTATIC, barring a huge crumble.
Oh, ZTR might be the propagator of that. Rusty left on 4 HP up against the AWP, but will indeed go down. That was close. That was so close. ECSTATIC 4 rounds. I don't really feel like it's going to be enough. It's not impossible to recover, I suppose, but still a rough half from them. We'll see if they can turn things around in a second.
How can I save you when you're tangled in your lies? Caught up in the middle, I can see it in your eyes. Lonely in the corner, waiting for somebody to come and save you from the cold of night. Easily, we've been falling in disbelief. I think I'm ready for another try, but this feels like the last time. So why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye? Quiet like the ocean, with the rumble running deep. This is how I see you, when you hide your feels from me. Why you heavy-hearted? Cut the silence, talk to me. Release your mind, get what you need. Easily, we've been falling in disbelief. I think I'm ready for another try, but this feels like the last time. So why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye? It doesn't matter. We seem too young to understand. For the better. The weather changes when we dance. Belong together.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the action. 11-4 at the turn of the half. GODSENT with a hell of a CT, showing a small resurgence from ECSTATIC towards the tail end. May well give them a chance into this game, but so far, so good for the Swedes. They look set to maybe nick away this map here and give themselves a good chance moving into Inferno in the upper bracket final. Moving into tomorrow's game would be lovely indeed. Let's see what they've got for the T side then on a map that they are not too comfortable on.
We need a pistol. We need a pistol for ECSTATIC. Especially if they can deny a blonde plant. That'll be all the better. Double in towards this control area, but it's 2 for 2. That's probably not good enough. ZTR's planning. Oh, okay, kraghen. Perfect timing. Drops the bomb. Getting very awkward now. It's just Joel, and surely he is a dead man. Takes down maNkz. But on this HP, kraghen is in a massive advantage. Huge advantage, but it doesn't matter. ECSTATIC are in a lot of trouble now in this series because this map might be out of reach after that pistol round.
Certainly looking that way in a very one-sided affair. Moving into the early portions of the map. Timeout coming in as well from GODSENT to just make sure that they can absolutely seal the deal with that one. There is no way back in. Let's absolutely get it on the side of GODSENT. They are feeling very confident indeed moving forwards here. And you can see why. Some great Counter-Strike coming out from them. ECSTATIC have really not gotten into this game at all, to be honest.
It's quite fitting, isn't it? The first half was kind of the ZTR Rusty Draken show. And we know that individually Joel is probably the best player on this team. And he saves his best for that pistol round. Absolutely goes nuclear. On that HP, he had no business winning that round. But he's hit every shot when it mattered. Forced buyout from ECSTATIC. And if there ever was a last chance saloon, it is this. They lose this round, they're either ecoing into 14 for GODSENT or forcing up again and again and again, trying to do anything to stop the onslaught. They have to make this work. They simply have to make this work. No mistakes.
No margin for error. maNkz. Great angle, great spot. They're all coming towards him. That's a nice find as he fades away. Not fully fading away. Still looking to play confidently. Queenix drops ZTR with a dink. Now it is a solid man advantage coming through. kraghen going to find Plopsky. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. Joel and Rusty, the only two that remain. They do have strong weaponry, but it's going to be a real challenge to get back into this round. They have hardly any information. Bailing out on the ramp pit, looking towards A instead. Easier said than done. Joel will drop Nodios. kraghen hanging around, looking for the way into this round with this FAMAS, hoping that they come his way. They're not going to come his way, though. They're going to go through Squeaky Door, and that makes life a bit difficult for him. He's isolated in the back of huts. They might overlook him. They might not be expecting him there. Scout going to try and distract away. There he goes. Nearly finding both of them. All onto Rusty with nothing but 12 HP. Will get the plant, which at the very least is a consolation prize. But the round itself is looking less and less likely. Hidden away at the back vent. This scout could take him down so quickly. He's going to hear maNkz coming his way. Trade's got to be there from the scout. He's not going to get away from Evan. The shot misses. Oh, Salazar. Heart skips a beat. He gets it on the second time of asking, but that gave a chance to Rusty that he never should have had.
Oh my lord. You can guarantee every teammate of Salazar plus the coach had the same reaction as us there. Oh my god. Well, they get the reset. It was a bomb plant for GODSENT. I think they probably should eco now. Ah, they're going to go aggressive. All right. They're playing for an earlier win. I think most teams would eco into a buy in the one after, but they want to reset right now. I guess the nades are pretty good, but they need a plan here. And for ECSTATIC, in terms of pulling off a monumental comeback, they have done step 1. But step 2 should not be too easy. Check my words. 3 fast kills, bomb on the ground. They're making this one look as clean as ever.
Certainly looks that way, sir. Kraghen and Plopsky, the only two that remain, of course. Oh, Plopsky going to get spammed down through the smoke as well, eventually finished off by Nodios, just leaving Kraghen. It seems like they are vaguely aware of his position towards the top end. He must have been spotted there at one point, but it's been a while since he's been seen. There he is, left on 1 HP, lucky to be alive. Probably does want to go down here. He doesn't want to jump off and risk taking his own life. Wouldn't be the move. $30 seconds. Certainly making us wait for it here, as he will eventually move into the Lion's Den. Of course, he's absolutely dead to rights. I would be shocked beyond belief if he could find a frag here. Not going to happen for him. So, flawless round comes through from the ECSTATIC boys. It's what we like to see. Getting some speed, getting some... you know, some momentum behind them, but I don't really know for the life cycle of the game itself how this is going to go down.
It's looking a lot rosier than it was, though, I think. ECSTATIC going to have monster money as long as they keep this full anti-eco clean. I mean, they'll have a couple of players with 5-6k in the bank. That is some good runway. If you're GODSENT, this is no longer an easy game to win. I mean, after Joel wins you that pistol round, you've been handed the game on a platter. It is, you know, convert one anti-force buy, and you've basically done it. You're so close that you got so many rounds, you'll have money. But this is a very different affair. Still got work to do for ECSTATIC, but at least now, you know, they're in the conversation now, where it might be possible.
Certainly could be possible for them. We'll see. There's a couple more rounds, I think, that I feel they need to win before we can really start to hand it to them. But yeah, time will tell. Time will indeed tell on this one. Pretty slow start coming in from GODSENT. I think they feel the pressure. They know how close this could potentially be. Very, very slow kind of round coming out from the T side. Plopsky going to eat a bit of damage through the smoke. Molotov goes down. He decides to run through it. Nearly loses his life. 17 HP, and he's got the secret control, I suppose he was so desperately after.
Yeah, but it hasn't actually forced a rotation. Look, nobody from ECSTATIC has dropped. Which, by rulebook, yes, is the wrong move, because do they not know they tagged a player up? I mean, it looks like it's going to work. They got so many players here on this upper side of the map. Hang on a minute. Big entry from Rusty. Queenix takes a dink, but is ultimately traded. And despite having the players in the right area, look at this. Ripcore's already pulled. They're saving. ECSTATIC have no interest in even attempting this retake.
Damn. Damn. GODSENT immediately able to get their claws back in. That is really difficult to stomach, I think, if you are ECSTATIC here, but absolutely has to be done. You don't really have any other options, it does seem. GODSENT get the rifles in hand. They have found the confidence. And they look pretty good while doing so, mate, to be honest with you. Absolutely solid find.
I feel like if you're going to play... If you're going to retain 5 on the top half of the map, shouldn't we have more than 2 on A? Or at least someone near close rotate, someone in main, someone in heaven. I'm a little bit perplexed as I have been actually through this game, by some of ECSTATIC's choices. That it just looks a little bit odd. Didn't feel right. You know, especially for a team that's picking into this. It has played a lot of Nuke in the last few months. It's looking a little bit funky, and it's the team in GODSENT that, you know, has been cobbled together. I know they're coming into form now, but Nuke is not their favourite map, and they've made very few mistakes in terms of the macro, in terms of how they're moving around the map. I thoroughly enjoyed the way they've played Nuke so far, and they are not far off now from getting this done.
No, sir. Bit of nade damage early on to some of the players. Oh, that's even a little bit more, but they will manage to make it down. They're also...
Watch the rotates. Watch the rotates.
Yeah, not
really
very
late.
ready. Not very ready at all. Salazar, though, is here in good time, and they're going to go straight into his crosshair, whether they're ready or not. Nodios has managed to creep in behind. Kraghen didn't quite hear him. ECSTATIC, despite being caught a bit dumbfounded, that's what it looked like via the minimap, they still managed to find all the kills. I guess just getting there in the nick of time, and Salazar especially, and couldn't really afford to miss any shots.
Yeah, I mean, it works. But doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Bit of utility. Salazar never gets to take a shot. There's nobody, you know, any nades onto the deep part of ramp, and he wouldn't be able to take a shot. If Salazar is playing anywhere else, that would have been a rifle, and he'd probably favor an AK in that sort of duel. So, be it Fortune, be it Salazar's good positioning, it saves them. And, well, in terms of this game extending further, maybe ECSTATIC needed a little bit of luck. The point I'm trying to make is that I don't think GODSENT really did anything wrong. Maybe they could have thrown some more nades, but I'd still be happy with how I'm calling this T-side if I was them.
Yeah, I think so. I think GODSENT have definitely put up a pretty good showing so far. Yeah, maybe want to find it cleanly. Maybe want to, you know, pummel their opponents into the ground at the end of the day. But we'll see. We'll see. It's still a pretty solid scoreline coming in from them, and the fact that it's a map that they don't really play to that much success, I think they can be very happy with how it looks.
You're a lucky boy, Draken. That was glass cannon. That nade goes a little bit deeper, and he could be very worse for wear. Here comes the default. Out of smoke's down. Seen a lot of these very standard numbers down secret rounds. This time, though, this feels more like a garage play. And here we go. Here's the flashes. maNkz for the first. Awkward exchange. They're turning to fight maNkz, but kraghen is back. Right there deep in the garage. And he feasts. He feasts ECSTATIC. ECSTATIC are making this game compelling. This is the round that breaks the money for GODSENT. And right now, ECSTATIC are keeping so many players alive that their money is going to be blossoming should they convert this.
Should be able to. ZTR spotted out there as well. So, looking likely that it's an easy round for ECSTATIC. Draken already in save mode, out towards T-spawn. Drops Queenix. They've got to be pretty confident with the hunt, you would think, on the ECSTATIC side of things. But I don't know, yeah, whether they necessarily want to give any kind of a chance in. It looks like he's playing safe. I think they'd be after him quite profusely, to be honest with you, but no, they're playing it nice and safe here.
Counter-terrorists win.
Well, Draken does save. Glass cannon, trying to make us hero orb work is going to be interesting. Because it's a little bit hard to force the fights. You don't really want to go close squeaky if you got a spawn or... I guess you just work out pray for a good fight. Pauses in. It's GODSENT. Starting to slip a little bit here. I think that last round was the most concerning. Up to that point, you could see the idea. You could see how it could work. Of course, losing second round, getting reset is the crux of this. That's how they ended up in this position where this map is even in doubt. But up to the last round, it looked pretty good. But I just wonder if kind of the wind is about out of the sails a little bit, because maybe they're starting to realize that their options on T side are not working super well.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is where it really starts to come into play, isn't it? You know, as we've mentioned a few times, it's not a fantastic map for GODSENT stereotypically. They've just put up a really good first half, a fantastic brick wall. This is what you were saying as well. They won the pistol there. They got bailed out in the pistol even. If they're able to convert that, it just puts them in such a good spot. And because they don't, they're now in a weird spot, to say the least. So, definitely intrigued to see how this pans out for the rest of the show here. I think GODSENT, you know, might get a little shaky.
Okay. Not like this. Not like this. Oh my lord. Kraghen has to move because he's lost his teammate in heaven. Draken capitalizes. Another AWP secured off the ground. Every player from ECSTATIC is on the A side of the map. maNkz doesn't really want to move because he gives a noise cue. ECSTATIC need to start praying to high powers, because if this bomb goes down to B, they're in a lot of trouble.
Queenix might be the last line of defense to kind of deal with here. The secondary all floor, a bit of a jump spot from ZCR. Nodios trying to stand strong. Queenix has got him covered, and they walk directly into the trap. Draken may well have had that one. Tries to go down before time there, and does so indeed. Will be the buy coming round from GODSENT. A little bit of damage, a little bit of worry thrown onto ECSTATIC. Keep them pressured up.
I think they got away with that. If they go B, if GODSENT go B, they lose the round. They had no information. Player on ramp couldn't move. The 2 on A were just sat there. Maybe it was a good read, but it really feels like ECSTATIC are running through their 9 lives, you know. How much longer can this keep going on before GODSENT break through? But having said that, the money is so good for ECSTATIC. It's so good. They're going to have endless buy rounds. And whilst they're at a 3-round deficit, they're on the stronger side. If they win any more rounds, there's surely ecos to follow. This is ever so close to being an even game. It might already be even, given the economy.
Certainly feels like it's looking that way at this point. maNkz up on the AWP, secondary AWP, misses the shot. Gap going to close now. A lot of utility coming in to try and keep him at bay, but he sticks around against the rules. And we'll find the frag onto Draken to open up for ECSTATIC.
Trying to make a play, Rusty. Can't blame him. Big man down, but this round is not looking good. 2-man setup behind this silo, and Nodios, he doesn't even need his teammate. Doesn't even need his teammate. ECSTATIC are in the driving seat. There's not going to be a bomb plant here. That bomb is way out of reach. Plopsky might even opt to save with 10 seconds remaining, so money's going to be out of balance too. CT money will be off the charts. Every player will have 5 figures. This is a crumbling. GODSENT had the world was their oyster after Joel won them pistol, but that feels like a different parallel universe at this point. They are so close to letting this map slip through their fingers.
Yeah, it's getting there, bro. It is definitely getting worrying signs, to say the least. They're going to go through for another half buy. So in theory, it should be another. It should be another round going the way of that ECSTATIC side of things. We'll see. That AK in action, looking to find a way into the round. They're going to go for the outside executes pretty quickly, get the player down secret. Well, might not be expected. Couple of them to get down there, in fact. It's maNkz on the AWP that they've got to get through. Really a big challenge. Surely he gets one and gets away, right? That's generally what you'd expect. All 5 players coming around. They're going to go for the boost up. Has to be super effective here. From Plopsky, spots the backside. Just about able to survive. He goes back in for a repick, though, and that will cost him his life. Nodios down the vent. Manages to find one. Salazar. Perfect frag. He's dropped the bomb on a platter. Absolutely beautiful spill of that bomb, of course. Will come off the angle, though. The bomb's going to be recovered by Joel. Plant inside the smoke. 4 versus 4 on a retake now for ECSTATIC that is looking a little tough. Good catch from kraghen as he comes through on the flank, though. There's actually a couple of them. Flash round. Spam the door. kraghen on the AWP. Can't find anything. Just 2 remaining. Still got Plopsky on this AK, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult to work your way back in towards the site. Plopsky can't even find one. ECSTATIC bring it within 1 round now.
It was a pretty good attempt from GODSENT, given the amount they threw into that. But, I mean, I guess the bomb plant money is nice. But to get it to an after plant, it was a decent scenario. They just got outplayed in the after plant. ECSTATIC doing really good stuff. Pauses in, and I don't think there's any surprises there. How many? We must have had quite a few in a row now for ECSTATIC as well. 5 in a row, and then 8-1 since winning that second round. It's been quite a reversal. Double AWP also out in play. maNkz on that secondary AWP. And I mean, GODSENT have they need to win this round. They need to win something. You lose this round, your eco standing up to 14. That would be too much to bear.
That would be a bit too much to bear, I think, indeed, yeah. So, crazy. Absolutely crazy. GODSENT, the weakness of this map showing through. It would be a bit of a curious case study to go back and see how their previous maps look. Whether it is a similar story, CT side strength and T side weakness. Would check out, would make a lot of sense, but...
Are they where Plopsky's down?
Doesn't look like it.
Nodios just sat in the vent. I don't think they know, because Nodios is sat there thinking, I'm going to stop somebody coming down.
Yeah.
A bit late for that. They're going to crunch ramp. Yeah, if maNkz falls, if maNkz falls side, he's dead. But he's making it work. Wow. Holds his turf. And he doesn't actually know it's Scriv, but if he fell, he'd be dead. He'd be dead to Plopsky by standing there and fighting to the death. That's the only way out of that situation.
Brilliant stuff. The secondary AWP has been a real thorn in the side of the of that T side, to be honest. Nodios down the vent, catches ZTR. Maybe, you know, it now comes to kind of backfire a little bit with Plopsky being down there. Perhaps they think that the vent is clear, but anything but. Round over. ECSTATIC fully matched the comeback here. Now they just need to take it over the line, as Plopsky, the only thing standing between them and an even scoreline. It's just not going to happen with only 5 seconds left.
Is Plopsky not in like disbelief right now that he's got all that space and he could never have an influence on the round? He never came into play. That's incredible. The other pause is in. I think they should buy. They just need maximum gun rounds. Maybe you can make a case for halving, but when 4 players can have an AK and armor, kraghen can drop on something a little bit lesser. You need to go for it. God, wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall in this timeout? Because how do you even compose yourselves? How do you conjure up some way to make a round work? I've had so many slow rounds just in towards outer, trying to get down. I wonder if the move is to change the outer smokes you're using, try and get into garage, because it didn't work earlier, but I don't know. I don't know. I do not envy ZTR having to call this round.
Yeah, this is a very, very difficult situation. GODSENT find themselves in the mental, maybe starting to get away from them a little bit as well. ZTR just goes flying in. Queenix going to be able to find a double through the smoke. Almost too predictable from the GODSENT side, it has to be said. And round over. Just like that. Not a hope in hell.
They could really do with a bomb plant. To at least keep the buys coming. I mean, look at the money on ECSTATIC. I mean, that tells you all the story you need to know. Barely anybody's dying on a lot of these rounds. ZTR, Rusty, Draken, all of them were massively in the green earlier. Big kill hauls, barely any deaths. And, you know, I think it's been a team crumble, but obviously within that, the individuals equally haven't necessarily had the best opportunities. And that's how they've ended up here. A couple nades being tossed. They see two smokes. They know two players are going down secret now. Surely there's scope to rotate. He's actually only maNkz on his own, so we could do someone else.
May well need some assistance. Let's get traded pretty quickly. Okay, hold the phone a little bit, because they have managed to gain some space here, 3 versus 2. Still, low HP bars surely should be enough for ECSTATIC to convert. There's only 10 seconds to get the bomb down as well. Nodios is here. He can just kind of sacrifice himself into this round. Plopsky out in the open. No time, not a chance. Trying to go down before that timer ends. Has to throw himself at it, but my goodness gracious, you can just see how dominant this has been from ECSTATIC. Look at the money, bro. We've got 2 players on maximum money, at least for a second there, so absolutely incredibly one-sided so far.
Well, the money was on the... You could have forced again if you're GODSENT, but they've chosen to go for a safer approach. Half buy is out. I think it probably is the right move. At least on this sort of round, you know, you're allowed to try faster play. In that sense, you're not feeling like, oh, because we're on a gun round, we can't risk it all on some small move. It's not going to be an issue here. But for now, just creeping out towards red. I think it's going to be an A fake into running out. That's what it is. Nades landing A. These players now swinging. Kraghen goes down. Okay. It's almost looking like the best round in a while. Nodios on the angle. Massive pair of headshots. This guy has been a monster on the defense. And now GODSENT again, despite an early advantage, cannot convert a T round on this map to save their life.
Absolutely mind-blowing as to how one-sided this game has become. After being so one-sided, you know, massive, massive streaks. I think it's the first time in a little while that we've seen a game look like this.
I think ECSTATIC made more rounds compelling than I'm seeing in this half from GODSENT. It's just been a nightmare. Might even be some table slams after what Nodios just did to them. That was...
Yeah.
That was brutal. And is Draken just going to save? My God. Well, at least he's got a smoke and a molly, so nades would be good for him in the next. That's not an issue. But this has gone from absolute elation after Joel wins that pistol. Remember that they took a pause after they won pistol to calm down because they were so excited, clearly. And since then, they've won a single round. It's not good enough. It's not good enough if you want to be in a grand final of this sort of qualifier.
Very, very worrying indeed. This is where GODSENT turn it around and takes to overtime, isn't it? This would be the kind of classic behavior. But no, if everything is to be believed, ECSTATIC should be cleaning this one up, taking their map pick, and really putting the fear of God into GODSENT, that is for sure. Or at the very least, the fear of ECSTATIC. What have GODSENT got left? We've not really seen a great deal from them. A few outside executes that don't really go anywhere. This seems to be another one. We'll see whether this one finds traction.
Nades lined up. Big execute to come. Nodios with the first. Can't make it to Queenix. A little bit of an island now on the site. His teammates trying to work in for a mini, and it doesn't pan out. Finally, around looking a little bit better for the GODSENT squad. Dunks into hut. Look at that shot. Head removed. Bomb getting planted. And now a 2-on-2 to save GODSENT on this map.
Here we go. Something to work with for GODSENT. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time since they've been in a situation like this, a round like this, that looks doable. Slow but sure, the ECSTATIC boys will work their way in. There's not a lot of time left on that bomb. Queenix and Salazar just on top of each other, really trying to work around, play off of each other. Nice find from Salazar. Just going to be ZTR then, and Salazar takes him out with a no-scope. That's the way we finish it. ECSTATIC showing them who's boss. Absolutely no contest in that second half.
Yeah.
No rifle rounds. No close half-buys. It was just the pistol, and that was pretty much it. Absolutely insane run from ECSTATIC to pull that one back in their favor.
I mean, I'm still reeling from that Queenix shot. That was